We have reasonable grounds to believe that during this period, all parties to the Tigray conflict have committed violations of international human rights, humanitarian, and refugee law. Some of these may amount to war crimes and crimes against humanity. Civilians in Tigray have been subjected to brutal violence and suffering. The Joint Investigation Team uncovered numerous violations and abuses, including unlawful killings and extrajudicial executions, torture, sexual and gender-based violence, violations against refugees, and forced displacement of civilians. The family of 4 killed in Tigray, Mekelle, as their house was shelled, reportedly by the Ethiopian National Defence Forces without any apparent military justification. The 26-year-old woman in Adyet who was gang-raped by Eritrean Defence Force soldiers in front of her 3-year-old daughter. The man in Mai Kadra attacked with machetes by the Samri Tigrayan youth group, shot in the back and thrown into a fire. And this senseless war has since continued and is escalating, engulfing increasing parts of the country. Every day, more people are suffering and dying. Recent days have seen reports of continued shelling by the Ethiopian National Defence Forces of the Tigrayan regional capital of Mekelle, and further advances by Tigrayan forces into the neighboring region of Amhara. We are receiving continued allegations of serious abuses and violations of international human rights and international humanitarian law. There are reports of shelling and airstrikes resulting in civilian death, summary executions, large-scale displacement, and a worsening humanitarian situation. I will shortly issue a brief update referring to some of the allegations we have been receiving since the June cutoff date of our report. While the majority of the violations documented between November 2020 and June 2021 appear to have been committed by Ethiopian and Eritrean forces, we have since then seen an increasing number of allegations of human rights abuses by Tigrayan forces, as well as continued reported violations by Ethiopian and Eritrean Defence Forces. We embark on this joint investigation at the invitation of the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission to enable our teams to get first-hand information on the facts, to allow us to provide a faithful account of the situation in Tigray, and to assist in ensuring accountability. The report is not an exhaustive record of all violations and abuses that occurred during the conflict, but it fairly illustrates the main types and overall patterns of violations and abuses. And I'm grateful to the many victims and witnesses who shared their experience and to others who provided pertinent information. Their voices speak in the pages of this report. I want to amplify here today what victims and survivors of violations convey to our joint investigation team. They want their means of livelihoods restored. They want reparations for destroyed homes and all they have lost. They want to know the truth about what happened to their loved ones, for all sides to acknowledge their role in the suffering they have inflicted on them, and for the perpetrators to be brought to justice. A key concern of our report is due accountability. National authorities have the primary responsibility to deliver fair and independent proceedings that address the full range of violations identified rather than isolated individual instances. If national authorities are not in position to do so, an international independent investigative mechanism should be considered. Building on this joint report, Such a mechanism could then take steps to undertake criminal investigations and gather and analyze evidence of the full range of violations and abuses that can be directly used in competent criminal courts, whether at national, regional, or international levels.